Today we're going to be making an all-American scarf in red, white, and blue using the diagonal stitch. And as you can see from the sample here, and for those of you who know how to do the diagonal stitch, we're doing double crochets, but we're running at a diagonal as we're working our way up the scarf. So let's get started. I have worsted weight yarn in red, white, and blue. And I have my trusty H hook. So we're going to start by chaining 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now in the 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to do 1 double crochet. Okay. So there's those 4 skip chains and our first double, so that's our first two, represent our first 2 doubles. Okay, 2 doubles in the last 2 stitches. 1, 2. Okay, so this is our first square, as you can see right here. We just did our first square. Now we're going to come back and do 2 squares here. We're going to switch colors and then increase by 1 square every row with white, red, white, until our piece measures about 36 inches. This is going to be a 60-inch scarf. Okay, so we have our first square right there. Now we're going to chain 6. This is how you increase on each side. Oh, well, on your first side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now skip the first 3 chains, and in the 4th chain from the hook, 1 double crochet, and then 1 double crochet in the each of the remaining 2 stitches. Okay, so that's your next one. Okay, so we have our first one. We have our second set of doubles. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to flip over this right here. This is my chain 4 space of my first square. See, it's down here, but when I flip this over, it is now up here next to my hook. So what I'm going to do in that first space there is I'm going to do a slip stitch, and then I'm going to chain 3. And I'm going to do 3 more doubles in this space. 1, 2, here's 3, and this is where I have to join my white yarn now. So as you can see, I have 1 square, 2, 3. Okay, let me get my white yarn here, and what I normally do is I just tie it really quick to the thread. What I will do is trim it off later and weave it in. Okay. So those last 2 red loops I have on the hook, I'm going to use white to pull it through because I want to start with my white. Now remember, we're going to increase again in another square. So we're at the end of our row. We're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, in the 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do 1 double crochet, and then a double crochet in each of the 2 remaining stitches. Okay. Now I'm going to trim this red later so it's not in my way. So here's what I have. My first square, my second row of squares, this is my 3rd row of squares. So this is where I am. I chained 6, and then I did my 4 doubles, actually 3 doubles plus my chain, the skipped chain, 3 chains there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this red one over. And again, in that chain 3 space that represents your first double of that square right here, I'm going to stick my needle in and do a slip stitch. That's going to hold that there. Chain 3, and then 3 doubles in this same space here. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to go up here in that space right there on that same one, that next one. I'm going to slip stitch. I'm going to chain 3. Then I'm going to do 3 doubles. And if you notice, I'm doing 2 rows of each color. Okay? So look what we have here. That was my first row, was 1 square. My second row was 2 squares. Now my third row is 3 squares. Okay? So I've reached the end. I'm going to chain 6 and increase for my next row. And if you notice, I'm turning my work. There's no right or wrong side to this, because for one row you're working this way. For the next row you have it flipped over, so you're flipping it back and forth. Okay? Let me get my scissors and cut my red yarn off so it's not in our way. If you have trouble doing this diagonal stitch, you could see my tutorial for the diagonal stitch. Okay, so we have 3. I'm going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fourth chain from the hook. I'm doing a 1 double crochet, and then 1 double crochet in the last 2 stitches. So each little square here I'm making is made up of 4 double crochets. The first one is your 4 chains that you skip. I'm sorry, your 3 chains you skip, and you do the first double in that 4th chain. So, and when you come back, this space here is where you're building your next square on. It's where you're linking to doing your chain 3 and 3 doubles. Okay? So here I am. Okay, this is where I am. Again, I'm turning my work. See this square? I want the square to be here because it's the start of my next row. So in this chain 3 space here, I'm going to do a slip stitch. Then I'm going to chain 3 to represent my first double. See how I'm increasing it? You look at it this way. Okay? Now 3 doubles. My red's getting tangled up in my white yarn here. Okay, 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Again, I'm going to link this to this previous square here, right here. I just do that with a slip stitch. Chain 3, then 3 doubles in that space. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Again, here's my next square. Here's my chain 3 space. I'm going to slip stitch to hold that there. 1, 2, 3. 3 doubles. 1, 2. Now this is where I want to attach my red yarn again. I'm finding it's easier for me to just cut it and start with a new piece instead of trying to work with it and having to weave it in, because then I'll have a red and white line running up and down my scarf when it's finished, and I want the white and the red to be distinct. So we're going to continue on this way till we have 8 rows. You're going to see 2 rows of red, 2 white, 2 red, 2 white. And then I'll teach you how to turn so that we can start making the rectangle for the scarf. Okay, so let me just join this. Okay, so I'm pulling the red through on that last double so I can start my next row with red. Okay, here we go again. 6 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skipping those next 3 chains, and in the 4th chain from the hook, 1 double crochet, 1, then 1 double crochet in the last 2 chains. Okay, so there we are. And you see how you're doing, how your work looks. So don't think you're going the wrong direction or anything. It's just a matter of flipping your work back and forth. Okay, so I've made my first square. I'm going to turn this over, and right here in my chain 3 space of this last white square, and when I say square, what I mean is each set of 4 double crochets, which is a chain 3 and 3 doubles. They look like little squares going this way and this way. Kind of give you a basket weave look. Okay, so there's my slip stitch, chain 3, okay, and then 3 doubles in this chain space. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so then I have a total of 4 there. Okay, see here? I'm going to slip stitch here in my next square. 1, 2, chain 3, 3 doubles, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Slip stitch into the next white square here, chain 3, 3 doubles, okay. Slip stitch in this last space, chain 3, 3 doubles, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now as we're going back and forth, we're increasing. As you can see, the work getting wider, but once we need to make that turn, I will show you how you need to go up so that your work doesn't keep growing this way. It grows and then it starts coming up. Okay, so I'm going to chain 6. Okay, and in the 4th chain from the hook, 1 double crochet, then a double crochet in each of the last 2 chains. Okay, there I am. I'm going to turn my work, and in this space right here, I'm going to do my slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, chain 3 doubles. Okay. Okay, in the next square, a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 3 doubles. Okay. Slip stitch into the next square, chain 3, 3 doubles, slip stitch into the next square, chain 3, 3 doubles, okay, and in my last square, again, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles, okay, and here's where I add my white. So let me go ahead and get my white yarn now and tie that on. Okay, so I'm just tying this with a quick little knot here. Okay, so let's get going here. This is going to be our last row, and then we're going to have to start turning up one side. Okay. So I'm going to finish up that last double crochet with pulling the white through, chaining 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, one double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, and then one double crochet in the next 2. Okay, there's my work. I'm going to flip this over, and in this first chain space I'm going to slip stitch. Sorry, all my yarn is getting tangled here. Slip stitch, and then chain 3 and 3 doubles in this space. 1, 2, 3. Alright, let me cut this red so it's not in our way. Okay. This next space here, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Slip stitch in the next square, 1, 2, 3 chains, 3 doubles, 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch into the next square, chain 3, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with my white yarn right now. Okay, my next chain 3 space there, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into that last square space, 1, 2, 3, and 3 doubles, 1, 2, 3. Okay, this will probably be our last increase on this side because we want to start shaping this like a rectangle and not a square, so we're going to have to turn in on one side now. Okay, so chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. And then another double crochet in the last 2 chains. 1, 2. So we have a total of 4 doubles. Okay, so then I'm going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space of the square and chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the next chain 3 space, 1, 2, 3, we did 3, chain 3, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Okay, slip stitch into the next space here, chain 3, 3 double crochets, okay, let's loosen up this white yarn one more time. Okay. Okay, slip stitch into the next chain 3 space of this square, chain 3, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in the next square, chain 3, 3 doubles, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Slip stitch in the next, chain 3 of the next square, chain 3, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in that last square, chain 3, three doubles, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and here is where I join my red yarn again. Okay, let's see here. My yarn came out. Okay, so I have 2 chain 3 and 2 doubles. This is my third double. I'm switching over to the red. Pull through those last 2 loops. I'm going to chain 6. In the fourth chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 double crochet, and then a double crochet in the next 2 chains, 1, 2. Okay, again, here we go. Here's our square. I'm going to flip this over. Okay, so in this chain 3 space here is where I'm going to do my slip stitch, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 doubles, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the next square, 1, 2, 3, 3 doubles, okay, so this is going to be the row where we actually stop increasing on one side, but we're going to continue increasing on this side because the scarf is going to be worked upwards in a diagonal fashion. So we're on our white row, on the last square of our next white row. So I've chained 3. I'm going to put 3 doubles in this space, 2, 3. Okay, now normally we would chain 6 and then build one of our little squares on that chain 6 to increase, but we no longer want to increase on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm flipping it over, and in the tops of these double crochets I'm going to slip stitch till I get to this chain space here. So just slip stitch in each stitch, work your way up to that chain 3 space. And in the chain 3 space, 1 slip stitch, chain 3, and then 3 doubles in this chain space. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now in this next chain space we're going to slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles, okay, and in the next space slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles, okay. So this is the start of our scarf. What we did, you can see here, we did an increase. We just went up and continued our second row right here. Okay. Now when we get over here and switch to red, we're still going to do our chain 6 because we want to continue building the length this way on our diagonal scarf. Now this side of the scarf we no longer want to increase because this is the width of your scarf. You don't want your scarf too wide. I want a narrow scarf. This is about a 6-7 inch scarf in length. I'm sorry, in width. The length is going to be about 5 feet. So every time you're working your color down and you get here at this point now, we're going to slip stitch up to that chain 3 space we left and then do our chain 3, 3 doubles in that chain space. So again, we're no longer going to increase on this end. We're just going to maintain this length here, working up. This side we're going to continue increasing to grow the scarf. Okay? So continue to go this way. If you have trouble with this stitch, go ahead and watch my tutorial for the diagonal stitch. And I will see you in a bit when we actually join our blue for this American scarf. So now we're going to start adding our blue. I just want to show you really quick with this scarf. This is the side that I did not increase on. This is the side I was doing my increases on. So if you look at the scarf, I'm sewing at a diagonal, but it's a long scarf. Now, it's 5 foot long total. The first 36 inches are in the red and white. So when you measure it, measure from the long side and not your short side. This side will eventually catch up. But again, when you measure your length, I'm measuring 36 inches from here. So red and white, 36 inches, and then I'm going to do 24 inches in the blue. The blue actually will not have this diagonal look to it. I want the blue to go straight across, kind of like a flag. So again, this side will catch up when we get to the end and we start stop our increases on this side. Okay, so I'm going to do my last white square and then I'm going to add my blue to that. So slip stitch, chain 3, and 3 double crochets. 1, oops, 2, 3. Actually, I have to pull my new color through right there. So let me attach my blue. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to chain 6 with blue, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in my 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 double crochet. And then a double crochet in the last 2 chains. Okay. Now, again, because my blue is going to run across, I'm not going to work my blue all the way down here. So my next color here is red. So I did 1 square of blue. I'm going to add my red, and then I'm going to work down with my red. I hope this isn't too complicated for those of you who aren't used to working with multiple colors and having to switch colors throughout your work, but it might be some good practice for you. Okay, so I did my little one blue square because that's going to be the start of my blue. Okay, so now let me just tighten up this red here. I'm going to turn my work, and where I would slip stitch, I'm going to slip stitch with the red. So slip stitch, chain 3, and then I'm going to continue my way down and back with the red. Okay, so 3 doubles, 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles. Okay. I'm sorry, my scarf is getting heavy. Chain 3, 3 doubles. Slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles. Slip stitch to your next chain 3 space, chain 3, 3 doubles. I'm sorry, I have a knot in my red. Okay, let's finish up this row here. Slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles. Slip stitch into the next square, chain 3, 3 double crochets. Okay. Remember, we're not increasing here. So again, here I am at my edge. Okay, this is the edge that I'm not increasing on. I'm only maintaining. So I finished my last red one. I'm going to slip stitch to this one right here. Sorry, slip stitch. I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to slip stitch up these double crochets here that I just made into that chain 3 space, slip stitch into that chain 3 space right here. Then I'm going to chain 3 and put my 3 double crochets in here. Slip stitch into the next square, chain 3, 3 doubles. Okay. Again, you see I'm not increasing on this edge, I'm just maintaining it. Therefore, I'm not doing my 6 on my chain stitch. I'm just slip stitching up and going back. Okay. Once you have this stitch down, this will go very fast for you. Okay. The tricky part is when we get back up here to the blue, because the blue is not going to be running diagonally with these other 2 colors. I have to be very careful that I'm counting right. Okay, so now here I am. What I want to do is this ending row here is going to have 2 blues, so I need to switch colors here. So I'm right here where I'm going to slip stitch into this last red space, and I need to join my blue again. Okay, and again I'm just doing this by tying a simple knot right here on it, and I will weave my colors in later. Okay, so tighten that blue onto the red. I'm going to draw up that. There's my slip stitch. I'm going to chain 3. Then I'm going to do 3 doubles in this last red chain here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I'm joining to this first blue one. There's that chain 3 space I'm going to slip stitch into. Chain 3, 3 doubles. Sorry. Okay. So you can see where my blue is coming in now. But again, remember, on this scarf, my red and white are going to run diagonally, but my blue is going to run across. So I'm not going to do full rows of blue. So I'm stopping the blue. So instead of changing color on the edge, I'm changing the color on the row right here, because I want this nice strip of blue here, kind of like the American flag, to go across. Okay? So I'm going to, again, this is the side we're increasing on because this is driving the length of our scarf. So I want to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in the 4th chain from the hook, 1 double crochet, then a double crochet in the next 2 chains. 1, 2. Okay, so this is the start of our next row. So again, I want to flip the scarf over and slip stitch into this next chain 3 space of this square, chain 3, and then 3 double crochets. Okay, slip stitch into the next square, chain 3, okay. See how I keep the blue coming straight across? So now I need to slip stitch right here, but I need to add my white because these next 2 rows, the row going down and coming back up, will be a white row. So let me start, connect my white. Okay, so here's my white. I'm going to slip stitch into this chain 3 space of the red, and then I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. And for those experienced crocheters, you'll notice I kind of weaved in the tails of the white and the blue in that first set of crochets right there, but I'll go ahead and weave it in some more later. Okay, so I am going to slip stitch into the next chain 3 space here, chain 3, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the next space. 1, 2, 3. 3 doubles. Slip stitch into the next chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3. Slip stitch into the next chain 3 space of the next square. Chain 3. I'm sorry, this white is giving me such trouble. 3 double crochets, 2, 3. Okay, again, here we are at our end. I'm going to slip stitch into this last chain 3 space, turn my work, and then slip stitch up these double crochets I just made to get to this chain 3 space so I can make my next set of doubles. Okay. Okay, and 1 slip stitch in that chain 3 space. Now here I go again. As you can see, there's my edge, right there, my short edge. Again, the edge will catch up in the end. So chain 3, 3 doubles, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles, slip stitch into the next chain 3, 3 doubles, slip stitch into the next chain 3 space, chain 3, 3 doubles, okay. Again, we're at a point where we need to start with the blue again. Basically what we're doing is we're ending our red and white. We're going to get to a point where we just it's going to come up to 1 square and disappear, and everything else will be blue. So we have 36 inches of the red and white going on, and then we're going to have 24 inches of the blue. Okay, and I actually bought some button-shaped, star-shaped buttons to add to this as some accents. So my slip stitch into this last white square is actually going to be with blue yarn. So let me join that. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles in that last white chain 3 space. Okay, slip stitch into my first blue square, chain 3 space, chain 3, 3 doubles, okay, slip stitch in the next square, chain, oops, I ran out of blue. Okay, let me pause the camera so I can add some blue here. Okay, I joined a fresh skein of blue yarn, and I did the same thing. I just tied a little knot there on it so I could, like I did when I was changing all the other colors, and again I will weave that in. So I think I'm on chain 3 here. Let me slide this down, this joining. Okay, I can just weave right over it since they're both blues. Okay, so 3 doubles. I want to pick up my little tail here. Okay, 3 doubles, 1, 2, 3, the slip stitch in that last chain 1 space, chain 3, 3 doubles, now chain 6, okay, in the 4th chain from the hook, 1 double, I'm sorry, out of the camera view, okay, and then 1 double in the last 2 chains, turn your work, slip stitch in the next chain 3 space. Okay, here we go again. I'm sorry, my memory card was full. I had to switch it out on my camera. Okay, so we're starting our next row of blue. So I chain 3. I'm doing 3 doubles in this chain space. 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch to my next chain 3 space. 3 doubles. I'm sorry, chain 3. 3 doubles, okay, now I want to slip stitch in this next chain 3 space here, chain 3, 3 doubles, okay, slip stitch in this next chain 3, chain 3, 3 doubles, okay, now here's where I switch to my red again. So now I slip stitch to the first chain 3 space of white. I'm going to slip stitch, chain 3. Okay, let's cut off this blue here so it doesn't follow me. Okay. Okay, so here we go again. So we chain 3 with the red. 3 doubles in this chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch in this next chain 3 space. Chain 3. 3 doubles. Slip stitch in this next chain 3 space. Chain 3. 3 doubles. Okay, in this last space here we're just going to slip stitch. Okay, turn our work and then slip stitch all the way up to this first chain 3 space. Slip stitch in the chain 3 space and then chain 3, 3 doubles, okay, slip stitch in this next chain 3 space, chain 3, 3 doubles, okay. Now we're going to join our blue again, right here. So let's add blue. Okay, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles, slip stitch to the next chain 3 space, chain 3, 3 doubles, slip stitch, 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 chain 3, 3 doubles, okay. So I want you to look at the work we're doing right here, right now. Okay. So you see what's happening. We're finishing up with our stripes here. As you can see, the stripes are getting smaller from here. The white, the red, the white, the red, the white. So we'll go ahead and end our red, white, and blue, our red and white stripes. And we're starting our blue. The blue's going to run straight up, but again in a diagonal. So once we finish up to here, we're going to do 24 inches of blue, and then we'll join the ends of our scarf and weave all these in it. So go ahead and continue as we're doing until you finish off here and your blue measures about 24 inches. Okay, I will see you at the end. Okay, now that on our long end the blue measures 24 inches, we're going to start squaring this off. Now remember here where we did not increase, we just went ahead and slip stitched to the next chain 3 space and did our square. Well, we're going to start doing that here, so we're going to start closing off our square this way. So let's finish that last set of doubles. Okay, so I already chained 3 and I'm going to do 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to slip stitch in this last chain 3 space, turn my work, and then slip stitch to that first chain 3 space right there. Okay, I'm going to slip stitch in that, chain 3, and then do my 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into my next square, chain 3, I'm sorry, 3 doubles, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so see, this is our long edge now, so we're squaring that off. So slip stitch into the next chain 3 space of the square, chain 3, 3 doubles, slip stitch, chain 3, three doubles, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles, Okay. Now on this end, again, we just slip stitch into that last chain 3 space, turn our work, slip stitch up to this first chain 3 space, chain 3, slip stitch in this chain 3 space, and then chain 3, 3 doubles, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles. Okay. Slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles. Slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles. Slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles. Okay, we're at our end again. Now remember, we're just slip stitching, turning our work, then slip stitching up to the next chain 3 space. Chain 3, 3 doubles, chain 3, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles, okay. So you see what's happening here is this was our long edge, and so we're squaring it off and we're working this way. And here's our short edge. So now that we're coming this direction, you see this catching up now, so eventually we'll end up in a corner right here that looks like this. So let's keep going here so we can finish this off. So slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles, okay, here we are on the edge. We're just going to slip stitch, turn our work, slip stitch to that first chain 3 space, slip stitch in the chain 3 space, chain 3, 3 doubles, slip stitch to the next chain 3 space, chain 3, 3 doubles, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, chain 3, 3 doubles, okay, again we're at the edge, so we're going to slip stitch into that chain 3 space and then slip stitch up the side to our next chain 3 space, chain 3, 3 doubles, slip stitch into our next chain 3 space, chain 3, 3 doubles, okay, so we're at the edge, slip stitch, turn our work, slip stitch up the side to get to that next chain 3 space, slip stitch in that same chain 3 space, chain 3, 3 doubles, okay, and slip stitch, and here we are. So you see how our short edge caught up with our long edge. So here's the edge. So what we're going to do now, after we weave in all the edges, is we're going to whip stitch these two edges together so that we have our scarf here. So go ahead and whip stitch this edge together and weave in your loose threads here, and then we'll have our final product. See you in a few minutes. And here we have our completed All-American scarf.